looking ahead now to tomorrow night. Obviously, Stoke City coming here in the cup. How much are you looking forward to that test?
Yeah, obviously it's a terrific game for players. It's a good game for all of us. You know, to play Premier League opposition is fantastic. But the players earned that. You know, in the last game. You know, I always, or near enough always, detach league and cup. You know, I really do. Our best performance this year has been in the cup. Played really, really well against Bristol, and we would need that level of performance really on Tuesday evening. I think that for everyone involved, it's a great game to play in. I think for everyone involved, it will leave you with a memory or two, because some people may not get that opportunity again, you know, to play against, you know, I think the Premier League now, you haven't got to be top class, you've almost got to be world class. And so I think, you know, we're going to play against some really good players. But I always say to my team, whenever there's a challenge in front of them, you become better players and better teams by playing against better players and better teams. So we'll all look forward to it. It's a little break from you know, your bread and butter, and sometimes that can actually work in your favour. So we'll all look forward to it, and hopefully all learn something from it.
I guess in a way that the pressure's off as well, the players.
I don't know about that, you know, because believe it or not, players want to win. You know, when we drew Bristol City, I'm not really sure how many people thought we would beat Bristol City, but we did. And scored 3 very good goals on the way to beating them. So, you know, for me personally, you know, as a manager, I've got to set out a team to do what I can to win. Even though you might change your team a little bit like we did with Bristol, the focus was on, can this team win? And in my mind it could. Can this team win tomorrow? Yes, it can. You know, we have to be at our absolute maximum, and Stoke have to have an off day, and I understand that. How often does that happen? Premier League teams against different Division 2 teams? Not that often, but it hasn't got to happen that often, so got once. So we'll look forward to it and plan to try and do, you know, cause an upset.
Looking at the sort of team that Stoke could pick, I mean, they may well make changes, but someone like Bojan, I mean, they've just signed Shaqiri as well. I mean, there's some players, aren't there?
Yeah, I think if I'm being honest, that we watched Stoke on Saturday, and the 7 on the bench was as good as the 7 on the pitch. This is a competition, I'm not speaking for Stoke, but this is a competition that Stoke will probably feel they have a chance of winning or getting to the final or winning. So they'll be strong, and we'll have to be strong to match them.
They've really progressed, haven't they? I mean, they started off obviously trying to stay in the Premier League, but now
every year they've got better. I thought the job that Tony Pulis done there was absolutely remarkable, to establish them as a really, really good side. I thought we'd done an unbelievable job, Tony. And Mark's come in, slightly changed things and carried that on. But the foundation of the club, of the understanding of what's required, I think, you know, I think Tony had a massive, massive part in that. They changed managers and Mark's come in, as I said, added to that. So from the solid foundation that they built as a club through Tony, Mark has sort of grown that and done a terrific job himself. So, you know, both managers can look at, you know, Tony can look back at what he helped that club to get to, and Mark can look at how he sort of pushed it on. So, you know, that is the Premier League the best league in the world. It's the most watchable. It's the most watchable. I think it gets stronger every year, and as I say, I think to be a regular player in the Premier League, you've almost got to be world class now. I really do. So, you know, Stoke City are a fantastic football club and growing. In greatest respect, they're growing. Let's hope that they don't grow too much tomorrow. So. but we'll see.
Is Mark Hughes someone you've come across in your career?
No, not really. Sort of, I think an LMA dinner a while back, you know, cross paths, although goodbye like managers do, but he isn't someone, to be fair, that I've known. But what I do know, he was a fantastic player, you know, and he's grown into a good manager, and you know, he's not always been at fashionable clubs and that, but he's gone there and worked really, really hard and produced, you know, decent teams. So his knowledge and experience will be first class, and you know, that's good for all of us. For me, like, you know, you match up. You know, it's the if you like, the do-haves and the don't-haves. But you know, that's what's great about football. That the do-haves have to now and again play these games, which, you know, quite a few years ago some of them players would have been coming to a Luton when they was at the higher, but you know, to just come down and play teams at a couple of levels lower, yeah, I think that keeps them grounded, I really do, and I think it's a great opportunity for some of our players to play in these games and, you know, produce good performances, and more importantly than good performances, it's going to be disciplined performances.
It's great game for the fans too. I mean, as you mentioned, Stoke have been playing in the same division as we did a few years back.
Absolutely. So no, it is. It's, you know, but this is the reward for our performance in the previous round against Bristol City. And speaking to Steve Cottrell after the game, you know, we didn't know that the draw, but you know, Steve was saying that, you know, this might have been a good opportunity for them to push on a little bit, but you know, they'd made some changes and that, and probably they were disappointed after the game. But you know, there's lots of clubs, when you change your players around, it can take a while to find all of the grooves and that you previously had. Maybe we're doing that, I'm not sure we are, but maybe that's what we're doing at the moment, and trying to find that way forward. And all this will be is a sort of distraction, really, from you know, what is the real bread and butter.
Injury-wise, you mentioned obviously a few players like his miss out.
Yeah, Doyle, Potts, probably McCall. We put him on the bench Saturday. He wasn't quite right. We brought him on. He's still not quite right. Marriott might be all right, but probably a couple of weeks. That's all. Nothing more than that.
You made in the last round, you made changes and switched it around a bit. Would you consider doing the same tomorrow? Or?
Yeah, we'll, you know, we won't go crazy with it, but we might just make an adjustment or two here and there, but nothing crazy.
Someone like Ollie Lee, would he come into contention now?
Come into contention, yeah. Come into contention, yes.
He's someone obviously you've looked at in training and know quite a lot about, isn't
well, we've had him before, and obviously he's a former West Ham player, so, you know, a bit like Elliot, you know, we know Rob, you know, Dad, so he's a player that we're aware of, and we've excuse me, from day one we perhaps looked at trying to find what I'm going to call a passer. You know, we've got Doyle and Smith that are dogging into two, we've got Pelly that can run with a ball, we've got Cam that can run forward. You know, probably not got like a passer, so Ollie's a passer, so you know, it's not been a big investment in this, you know. So we think Ollie can do, you know, a good job and be a good addition to the squad.
A couple of players went out as well last week in on loan, Robinson and Andy Parry, good for them to be getting.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, two lads from the conference days that have done brilliant, and you know, they need to play. You know, still got Curtly Williams and Jake Howells, but you know, it's good that we can get these players out playing games, and it's good for them. When I say it's good for us, it's good for us because we're helping them, you know, and we've really tried to help them to find homes. It's really important, and they both played Saturday, so I was really pleased.